Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's question and answer session with Mr. Chris Palmer, SEO, and me, Craig Campbell, SEO. By the way, Chris, did you copy my name? Craig Campbell, SEO, Chris Palmer, SEO?
I don't even want to tell you when I first started who I was copying.
Come on.
I don't want to say it.
Come on.
I was ripping off Chase.
Really?
Yeah, he was in this. It was when I was looking at local guys. So it was Ruan and Chase. Those were the guys to beat. So I was like, Chase Reiner, SEO, that's me. That's the guy. So that's what I started. They were showing up for all the certs I wanted on YouTube.
Yeah. Fuck them. They're not there now, are they?
Chase is still winning. I mean, he's getting a lot of SERPs, but I mean, I don't know. It comes and goes. Who knows? I don't know.
But before we go into the questions and seeing who's there, guys, do check out Odys, who still have the $500 bonus. If you sign up before the 1st of April, you can get that $500 bonus to go towards an H domain. But yeah, we're here for a live Q&A session. Let us know what your questions are. We will quickly go through those questions and answer as many as we possibly can. Also, make sure you do give us a like on the video, because we've always got those horrible little fanboys who dislike stuff. So get your dislikes out the way, fanboys. And anyone who does enjoy the show, please give us a thumbs up so that we can...
And just to clear that up, not that I was a fanboy, but I thought maybe there was a competitive advantage there, with the SEO in the name. That's why I did it. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, people are like, you were... I wasn't copying them directly, but I thought there was an advantage for YouTube. So that's just the truth. I mean, what can I say?
Insight before action. Thank you for that like. Martin Slack, good to see you. Insight before action. Ruan does rock, as does Chase. Anyone that takes the time and effort to do this stuff, is doing a grand job. So yeah, but obviously I want me to win, and I want Chris Palmer to win.
Yeah, that's right.
The Furman is here. And Gary Farmer, Scotland's top FIFA player. I'm still waiting on my invite, Gary Farmer. I know you're hiding from me, but I'm free tonight if you are. Insight before action, from Paul Hogden.
Well, I see us curating quite the high-ticket black hat group. I mean, I see Holly starting to get on there more, right? You're on there. I'm starting to draw a little more, I see something curating here, natural, in a year from now. You never know.
You never know. Craig is here. Hey, Craig and Chris, you've got a good name. Gary MC, Tommy Finnan, always enjoyed on my side. Yes, Tommy, you have been a loyal guy coming on here for the last year or so. And yeah, it's great that you guys still continue to see value and come along. But you have to ask questions and pick our brains, so make sure the questions start flowing in, guys. But Chris, before I do anything, I'm going to put you in the spot before any of these questions come in. Sure. So I was speaking to Mr. Paul Hogden prior to coming on here. He's saying, are you committing to coming to the UK for this conference called the SEO Underground? He's changed the date till October this year. Now, obviously, if you don't or can't or don't want to come or too shy to speak, that's also good. But he is about to launch his page. Holly Starks is coming. I'm going to be there. And hopefully there'll be a whole bunch of other really good people there. But it's October the 14th, Paul saying, are you coming, yes or no?
I don't know what I would talk about. But no, I actually, when you messaged there, mentioned that to me, I talked to my wife about it. She said, you can go. I mean, she said, you can go. That's fine. But she's scared to take the little guy. But yeah, I have no problem. It's not that, I don't think it's that far, is it? I could walk there, right?
Not sure about walking, but you should definitely come for sure. I think, certainly in the next stage of your, after YouTube and being allowed to get out, because I think it'd be fair to say you've become prominent over the last year, even more prominent than you probably were before. And I think the next step for you is actually getting out to live events. And I think this one will be a big one. It will be good. When I say big, there's only going to be 300 people there, but it's going to be a very select audience. It's going to be black hat stuff. We're not having run-of-the-mill speakers there that talk about white hat things or anything. So it's really going to be the right audience for you. So I think you definitely have to come, because out of all the speaking events I've ever done, I've done a few which are pretty dark, but there's never really been one that's dark and all the speakers are dark. There's always just been a mix of speakers, whereas this one's going to be very select, so black hat only. So yeah, come on, Chris, love you to come. So Paul is saying, please commit, get back to him, because he wants to put your face up on the landing page, because we are waiting on one more speaker being announced before we can then say these 3 speakers are speaking and start to put the tickets out and all that. The date is now being changed to October the 14th. For anyone listening, it was supposed to be November. However, Paul blindly said November to try and make sure that the conference went ahead in person because of COVID and everything. But he didn't realize it was Thanksgiving, the date that he selected. So he has pulled it back to October so that our American friends can come over, if the opportunity arises. So Chris, yes or no?
Yeah, I'm down. I think October is fine. So what, I just have to, how many days would I be gone from home? 3 days, 4 days?
You probably 3-4 days, yeah. It's up to you.
3 days.
But yeah, it's not good. You don't have to come for like weeks or anything. It's the event is a 1-day event. There's probably going to be a pre-night thing and stuff like that. But I think you're better coming and chilling out with people, because I'll probably be there a few days before as well, so we can catch up, have a few beers and stuff like that. So
yeah, 100%. Send me, if you can, message me on Facebook so I can get the deets, and I'll cover it with the true boss. Let her know that this is the date. Then we'll be golden.
Yeah. No, that's good. We will do that. And there will be some pre-meets, as Paul says. Hello, Jay. Now, we're really struggling for questions here today, guys. So what do you guys want to talk about? Normally, you're not shy. Give us your questions. But before the questions pop in, Chris, what have you been up to this week? Where are you at with this thing? I don't want to say too much in case I'm not allowed to, but this thing, are we any closer?
Yeah, well, I'm as soon as we're done here today, I'm gonna have we're gonna demo it today. So today we're on. So I'm excited. So as soon as this is over, he's next. So that's I'm pretty stoked about that. And just, I don't know, I picked up 2 new guys I've been working with. That's kind of draining in a way, kind of. But other than that, hey, it's all right. I needed to catch something back because I lost somebody, so it's all right.
You always catch up in the end.
Yeah.
But we need to see a UK versus USA poster. We could do that. A bit of challenges and all that online, but then Holly Starks is in the US and I don't want to fight with her. So, nah, not a bad idea. Don't do it, Paul. But Francis has the first question of today. Best way to backlink is linked to main domain URL or blog URL article. So homepage or inner links. What do you?
Ideally, if you can, whoever's sending the link, if you can get one to the homepage and to the blog post, that would be like an ideal situation, right? Because you can maximize link benefit to your site if you link to 2 separate pages. It's the only way to get a boost from one link, right? So with that being said, exactly what I said, if I could get one to each, but if I had to pick one or the other, 9 times out of 10, if I'm trying to rank this page, I want it to go to that page. It's just something I'm picking up, homepage.
Yeah. Good advice. I can't really add anything to that. is it worth doing high ticket business to business affiliate, as the person giving the first click may not be the person doing the purchase, and you're losing the click attribution?
Yeah, that's a massive turnoff for me for affiliate stuff. I mean, hey, that's the game. I mean, you should know these things before going in, and make sure about this before whatever agreement you're getting into, you want to know the ins and outs of it. Because that is, you're like looking and you're seeing the clicks, you're seeing the traffic, you're looking at competitors that you're doing it with and you're killing it. And then you look over here and you're like, wait a minute, this same amount of traffic, same amount of clicks, but here I made 2,500 and here I made 0. What's going on? So
I think,
crazy.
If you're going to go into a niche where it's not an instant sale, you're going to run into problems in terms of that click attribution.
Yeah.
If it's a big, £5,000 printer or something like that, some industrial stuff, I think you'd be wasting your time and effort, because the odds are stacked in that seller's favor, and you're always going to be lucky if you get a small amount of the clicks you're actually getting. So I wouldn't be doing it, man. That's all I would say.
What do you think about that, Craig? For you, would you take that as disrespect, or hey, you should have knew before you got into it?
I mean, listen, I think as a business, if I look at it from the business side of it, you are going to prey on naive people who just see that money and all that kind of stuff. I think it's quite disrespectful, but as a potential person that jumps into affiliate marketing, you need to make sure that you understand how affiliate marketing works. You understand the cookie policy and the click attribution and everything else. And if the odds are not stacked in your favor, why are you spending money in someone else's business, really? So listen, business owners are going to make you drive traffic to their website. That's it, and if there's no real fair way of doing it. Now, I don't mind promoting someone's course or whatever, like I've done with yours, Chris, in the past. I've promoted your course, and it's all very transparent and easy. I can see stuff, and if I send people there, I get paid very quickly. People are, and that kind of deal appeals to me. As I say, going to other stuff where, and I have had it, and I'm not going to name names, but trying to get the attribution for certain things because of cookie policies and stuff is horrendous, and you have to fight for your money. And I'm not. How can I possibly document everyone's email from, say, this YouTube channel? And
I know,
if any of these guys click on it, it's my sale guys. So I'm always going to be getting shafted when it comes to that. So yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I find it quite disrespectful, because as affiliate marketers, or SEOs, or whatever we want to call ourselves, you're doing a lot of work. There's a lot of cost involved, content, links, website maintenance and everything else. So I just see it as a massive disrespect. I'm sorry if you don't like that, whoever's watching, but it is. I find it rude and disrespectful.
It is disrespect, right? Because if we were selling candy bars and I hit you with the candy bars and you're supposed to bring me back 30%.
Yeah.
Next time I saw you, I'd hit you in my car.
It's like, if I promoted your course and all that stuff and shoved it out there, and I came back, there's no money, I'd be saying, hey, Chris,
right.
You haven't fucking laughed. Where's my fucking money? Yeah.
Wow,
you got a sale and all that. Come on. And I'm like, dude, I know what fucking happens when I promote something. So
right.
Yeah.
I was just curious your standpoint. I'm sorry to get off on I don't usually like the negative stuff. I'm sorry. I'm just curious. No, because I've been doing little side, with multiple little companies on the side, and some of them are on this, up and up. Others, not so much.
Yeah.
I thought it's a handshake. Hey, 10% or whatever it is. I get this. I get the clicks. I get the cookie. Where's my cash? Right?
Exactly. That's what it boils down to. We're all here to make money. Where's my cash should be the forefront of anything.
That's our battle cry.
Exactly. But Jay is asking, is there any affiliate tricks for multi-device click attribution? Surely affiliates in this day and age, the softwares or whatever you're going to use for affiliate, you know, are going to be fairly standard, and you know, that's it. Multi-device click attribution, is that a thing?
I was hoping you were going to hop in. I mean, this is, for me, it's, I don't know, a click. Did they buy or not? Yes or no? Okay. I mean, it's just, you know, I don't know about that stuff.
Nah, I don't know anything about that stuff.
I just know like 1 out of 20 people are probably going to buy it. You know, generally, I know, hey, if I send you 20 leads, I'm bound to get one of them is going to hit, you know? And I don't know about multis though. Maybe they click it 2 times. Maybe I get double. I don't know.
I think someone like Holly Starks is your best bet to ask that. She's probably tried to have multi-device attribution for many years, and she's an animal when it comes to that. So if Holly pops in, we'll ask her the question because she's the right person to answer that one. Jenny Abubaya, I'm not giving it that other chat that you gave me last week, but good to see you. So, good evening from Brian Houghton. We are all good here. Hope all is well with you, mate. Chris Glidden, first time I've been able to join your live chat. Usually I've had to watch late at night after the fact. Good to be here.
Cool. Hope to see your questions.
Yeah, questions, Chris. Questions.
Up.
I'll ask you this one first, Chris, from Jose. What is the percentage of clients versus your own assets and projects, Chris?
I have 3 projects, and now I have 6 different accounts that I'm working on. 6, and then I don't even know if we would call it 2 actual real my own projects, 2 real ones that are actually producing money.
Interesting. I would probably say I do. It depends what. For me, it's quite difficult to determine what you would call a client. I do a lot of consultancy, a lot of training for your clients, so I do a lot of that. But most of my income comes through my own assets or projects. I do have a small agency. I do have a link building service that I part own and stuff like that. But again, I don't really have any day-to-day running of that. I let someone else do that. But yeah, that's kind of my setup there. I try to get away from as much of the client side as I possibly can, but I still do, as I say, consultancy, guidance, training, whatever. I'm just ain't going to be writing the content and all that for clients and all of that stuff. I'm just not set up to do that, structurally and stuff like that. So at this point in my career, I just don't see that being a valuable option. But there you go. Simon, for Google Stacks, I'm struggling to find an old style drive. Is power still directed if the properties are all published to the web, but the folder isn't? Properties will be embedded on the website, etc.
All right. So, I mean, you can create the folders in an old account and drag it over to a new account, right? So with that being said, it's a hub and a buffer layer. That's it. I mean, I wouldn't spend too much time on this, but to answer your question, just when you do find one, just create the folders, create the files, and literally take that file and drag it over. Now you have an old one and a new one, but you can't change anything. All right.
Cool. Chris is saying hello to everyone in the chat as well. Chris, you have definitely helped me with GMB from Richard Sachs.
Glad to help.
He's actually a good soul, isn't he, Chris? He's not that bad. Paul Hogden was calling him all sorts before because he wouldn't commit to this conference, but I think you're a good soul, Chris. Aspect Wall Art, hope you're well too. Martin Slack is saying so many companies screw affiliates with the cookie duration and all that stuff. Amazon have actually, I think, quite a generous cookie policy. I think the ability to get that 24 hours where you get everything that person buys is very generous. But yeah, be very careful with some of them.
And you don't make jack, but they pay me on, like, you can track the traffic to the clicks to the money. Like it's, you know what I mean? They just pay, it ain't jack, but they pay.
Chris is asking, there's an attribution feature in Google Analytics 3, and you can tune your settings for your mix of first, mid, and last touch attribution. So a tip for you there, guys, but I'm not that fussed in analytics. It's them. It's the affiliate that needs to sort that shit out in their end. You know, I wouldn't be messed with that on my own website, but you know, I need to know that my cookie's been dropped, how long I've got for that person to, you know, buy or whatever. So I'm not sure how important that is or how you could make that work in your favor from an affiliate perspective. Of course, it's good on your own website if you're trying to track stuff, but yeah, it's the affiliates that need to get their finger out and be a bit fairer with the old cookie policies and all that kind of stuff, in my opinion.
I hate Google Analytics.
I'm not going to lie, Chris. I'm actually going to agree with you on that. Like, I don't
really do
much time on it. Of course, you've got to see certain things on it,
right?
But you know, I'm not one of these guys that check it every day. I'd rather just go out and get more content, get more links, do whatever, do a bit of CRO. I don't want to be playing with analytics. That's where you sit and analyze your analytics hour after hour after hour, and you do no work. Fuck that. You know, I want to do work and hit things. And I actually had a podcast I recorded today, and I was speaking to a guy that does affiliate, and he was just saying, like, yeah, I just slam out 100 blog posts a month. 30 of them will get traffic. I just throw the other 70 in the bin, super optimize the 30, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. He can't be fucked. That's his strategy. That's it. So that's what I like sometimes, just to have a gung-ho approach and not be too fussed about the analytics. I know that my process, I don't even have to look at analytics. I know that the processes I follow will get more traffic anyway. Of course, you can go in and check what traffic, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah. And then even worse, you get it set up and then you have to explain everything. You know, like it's like no.
See, with the Amazon websites I've had in the past, I think I would be correct in saying that I don't think I've ever looked at their Google Analytics. The only thing I check daily is logging into my Amazon Associates account to see how much I made yesterday. That's all I care about, man. That's no, seriously though. That's all I care about, and I check the rankings and check for the content gaps and stuff like that. Why would I look at analytics? Nothing on there can make me do more. I know I need more content and stuff. So again, I think that's where people just need to take action.
That's right.
But yeah, sorry, Ryan Houghton has been a bit unmotivated lately, but pushing through. We all get there. Sometimes, Ryan, you've just got to take it back.
Well, that's why, because you're telling yourself that.
Yeah.
You gotta wake up like, I'm on a winning streak, baby.
I went through a period in the last couple of months where I kind of became demotivated with my own website. And I was just talking to Paul Hogden before I came online, because he sorts out some of my website stuff. And I kind of just fell out of love with it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just parked it for a month and just went, do you know what? Fucking stop. I'll work on it, Paul. I don't even want to talk about my website. Leave it be. And then I come back to it, just have a break from it. Whatever's getting your wick. The problem I had was, I get hacked and stuff like that. So I had to clean up all that stuff. People were slamming spam at my website. I wasn't happy with the design of it and all that stuff. So it just became a bit overwhelming. I'm just like, fuck this shit, man. Do I even need a website? That's what I asked myself. I'm like, do I even need a fucking website? What's the point? But I had a rest from it, and I'm now back, on the phone to Paul saying, right, do this, do that, do that, do that. And I'm now super motivated to. So I'll be pestering him now, whereas before Paul was subtly saying, you need anything done here, Craig? I'm here.
Need some guidance.
Yeah, we all go through that wee phase. I think, Ryan, just try and mix your stuff up, or take a few days off, or go away for a long weekend and get that motivation and come back and hit it hard again. But yeah, it's been a tough year, man, with lockdown and no holidays and lack of sunshine and stuff. So hopefully, mate, you can push through that and carry on doing what you do.
I always found unmotivation comes when you're not reaching your goals fast enough.
I'm an impatient guy.
Or you're not chasing big enough. Those are the it's not happening fast enough, or I'm not dreaming big enough. That's when I get unmotivated. Me personally.
But always aim for the top, man. We can all make decent money here if we just have the drive and hunger to do it. Richard Sachs, our Google listing SWAT Bomruck and Company LLP, 45 reviews, isn't immediately appearing on the map. You have to move the map or zoom in or out to get the listing appear. Why is this happening? So I'm going to assume I actually know a guy that this has happened to recently. It's just because you don't rank that well.
No authority.
Yeah, you've no authority. There's nothing wrong with a map or whatever. Obviously, if you zoom into a more condensed area, then your map listed, the red dot appears. So for me, you need to do more citations, get more click-through and everything else onto that. Now, you've mentioned you've got 45 reviews. Now, I mean this with the best will in the world, Richard. Your reviews don't mean shit. Really, they do not move the needle. Now, of course, they'll help in terms of click-through rate, and it's always good to have genuine reviews. But by having those 45 reviews ain't going to cut to the chase. I've seen GMBs with 0 reviews that outrank ones with hundreds of reviews. So the review part is not important whatsoever. So do make sure that you focus on consistent NAP, name, address, and phone number. Get your citations. Make sure that, if you've got friends in your locality, get them to click on it, ask for directions, look at your photos and all that stuff. You need to keep that profile being active if you want to get above those guys. But yeah, you have to do all of that stuff.
Do you stack the products and services with the, keywords? Do you do that on your campaigns? Stack them?
Of course.
I was just curious. So I was just wondering.
I'm like, why is he asking that? Is that not what everyone does?
No, this is what's crazy. Because as the consultancies come in, I'm looking at these accounts and I'm like, why aren't you stacking the products and services and mirroring it to the site? This is what I don't understand. And I'm like, what? I'm just looking at it. It just seems like 101 stuff,
Oh, I was going to say, like, I would be mortified if someone didn't do that. I'd be like surely that's the basic common sense. But yeah, listen, I don't know what goes through other people's heads. I find this stuff easy, but maybe we think about it differently. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you're not doing that, then
what do you think about a posting schedule? Useless or effective?
I do it. I don't skip every time I post anything out, whether it's coming on here live, to do this show or whatever. I've got, my Facebook, my group, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, my YouTube community, my GMB listing, and a few other places that I post all of this stuff to. I've heard people saying when they post on there, the rankings drop and all that kind of stuff. But every time I post on there, it will come back saying your post has had 50 views or 100 views or whatever it might be. Now, obviously, you see someone like Holly Starks running about trying to get CTR going to our Google My Business. Why would you not want to put a post up to attract that click-through rate? That's the way I see it. So I've been doing that and have done that consistently for a long time. If it's there for a reason. It's not there to impact you negatively. So if there's somewhere for me to slam a link in there, why the hell would I not do that? Try and drive people to my YouTube or whatever it might be. So for me, again, common sense, of course, has to come into play there. But yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it. And thank you, Ricken, for the donation. It's nice. Always nice to have that. But yeah, so yeah, I'm using the posting thing, Chris.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I these guys were asking. I'm like, well, what do you think about this? Because I was like, and you could go watch Craig. I mean, he's a pro. I mean, he said it, because I'll say stuff and I'll say, Craig said it too.
I'm not sure. if it has a massive impact in your rankings.
Right.
As I say, all I know is it's part of my process. Now, it might not make a blind bit of a difference, but it's still fucking part of my process. I don't care. I'm doing it because it's getting me 30 views, 50 views, whatever it might be. And if I see someone like Holly Stark's moving the needle, running around with all her phones, I want some people on my GMBs. And if I can do that through a post rather than run around with all them phones, then it makes sense for me to do that. But in my locality, I'm number one anyway, so it's hard for me to say. I don't do a huge amount of local stuff, so I've never done it for a new one to see how effective it is going from nowhere to the top position. Right. But I would be doing it regardless.
100. Yeah, I always get, it's always the same process, and then you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and it's like then you get questioned, and you're like, I do this because I've been doing it forever. I mean, I don't know. This is just what has worked in the past. That's true. I mean,
listen, we all do things that probably don't actually make a difference. And all of our processes will look at it, you're like, why are you doing that, Chris? Does that actually work? And someone will say, Chris, that doesn't work. Like, I fucking tested it. But you'll be like, fuck you, man. It works for me. I'm doing it. So, yeah, each to their own. And here is the next question. I absolutely get slammed for this elsewhere. So the guy from Legit, Chris Walker, basically said to me, Craig, I'll give you an influencer page on here, and you could put on some of the gigs you use on Legit. So I had Randy Roday for his news thing. I had another guy for some Wikipedia thing, and I had a guy that does follow blog comments, relevant blog comments. Now, basically, people laughed at me and were commenting under this saying, are you for real? You really use blog comments? What fucking year is it? Blah, 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 blah. Now, I kept replying to them, just saying, try it, dude, try it. And they kept saying, oh, he's just going to say he's going to try it, blah, 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 blah. Do you use blog comments, Chris, for tier 2 or anything at all?
Well, when I want to get pins the stick, I definitely use blog comments. And aside from that, like I do use them still. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely.
When I say blog comments, I'm not talking about some shit ass scrape box, spam attack or anything like that. I'm talking about high quality blog comments is what that guy's selling on Legit. But obviously, Ashton is asking, do follow blog comments work for tier 2 links? Would they be as effective as niche edits?
A link is a link, it's a hard thing to pitch to a client. Are they effective? Yes. Is it going to be the same as a niche specific domain contextual link that's getting traffic? No, but I can build twice as many for way cheaper. So I think that's the best answer.
Yeah. But yeah, they do have a place in this industry.
That's right.
That's all I'm going to say. How powerful they are and everything, you need to play around and figure that out. But they are part of my thing. Stephen Shapiro, I'm thinking to start a link building agency. I'm from India. I don't have a lot of people to network with. Networking plays a huge part in this industry. Who do you recommend?
Well,
the most connected guy in the whole of SEO is probably me, mate. I'm not going to lie. I'm a big deal. No, I'm only kidding. So here's my theory on this, Stephen. There is a million fucking Indian link builders harassing folk every day. Now, I just block. Now, I'm desperate for links. I have a link building service. I need people to do good quality stuff. But it comes down to how you pitch it and who you network with. Am I going to buy from someone with a random email? No. Am I going to buy from someone I've networked with and had a beer with? Yes. So get your ass out to events, network with these guys there, build a bit of trust, have a conversation, buy someone a beer, do all of that stuff, because honestly, it's the best thing you can do, especially if you are, and I'm not meaning this in any way. I've got a lot of great Indian friends, but people just associate India and spam and links. That's the way people think about it. They're just like, oh, nah, here's another Indian link builder. There's some amazing Indian link builders. I use Indians all the time. Every day of the week, I'm talking to an Indian, buying stuff and all that kind of stuff. Now, that's taken me years to figure out these contacts and all that stuff. And I've been to India in person and met a few people and all that stuff. So you've just got to network. That is the right thing. But you have to show them you've got stuff. What am I looking for from a link builder? I want, different websites and all that kind of stuff. I want a mixture of quality because I'm selling DR30, DR45, DR60. So I don't need the Huffington Post, Entrepreneur, and all that stuff. When I go to a lot of Indians, they just pitch me these news websites, and I'm like, no, I need the fucking golf link. So try and have inventory that the other guys don't have as well.
Bingo.
Because if you got it, people will hammer you. So even pick a niche, the lead niche, trying to get lawyer links is probably the hardest link to try and get, even buying it from a guy, because no one has a whole bunch of PBA.
Or foreign topically relevant links. That would be a hot way to sell like crazy.
That is what I would suggest you do if you are going to do it, because listen, there's millions of us out here who are desperate for links in a wide range of niches, and you can really stick out from the crowd. One, if you've got good links. Two, you can deliver them quickly. And three, if they fit the criteria that everyone's looking for. So just do some research. A lot of guys out there are selling run-of-the-mill garbage that anyone could buy on people per hour. If you actually do outreach or acquire a list, you will fly. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
I'm out of breath after that rant.
Yeah. Is that all, Craig? Are you sure? I
do like Indian guys, but yeah.
You're passionate about them links.
It's the most fucking thing, man. Honestly. Just like, dude, have you got some guest posts here? Yeah, I've got these, and they fucking give you all those entrepreneur Forbes India and shit. And you're like, dude, I fucking said the guest post, man, not your $800 link. Give me something fucking for a good price. But there you go. But anyway, Jay is saying, Chris, thanks for the response. The companies use affiliate platform like PartnerStack or Thrivecart to track clicks. It's independent of GA tracking. Yeah, Chris also uses something. Is it Podia you use, Chris?
Yeah, I'm using Podia. I moved over now. I'm switching a few things, but yeah, Podia they had a cool little system, I thought.
Yeah. Jenny's also saying, Stephen, get your SOPs in place so your service is spot on and start reaching out. Use anything you can to start making connections. Stop LinkedIn, talk to them.
Get a list of 1,000 links, break them down by topic, make sure they're at least DR50 plus, right? Make sure the price is half what you want to charge, and then give me an email.
Also, Jenny says here, just put the time in to research the person and be personal. Jenny's been schmoozing me for the last couple of weeks, trying to laugh at my jokes and all that stuff, and humor me a bit and all that stuff. And that's how you've got to do it. So yeah, I'm only kidding on, by the way, Jenny. But Jenny makes a great point here. No dear sirs. And all that stuff. I actually had an email from someone yesterday calling me dear sir or ma'am, which was massively fucking, well, it wasn't offensive. I just pretended it was, and I posted it on Facebook. But yeah, don't be good about calling blokes ma'am and stuff like that. That ain't going to work.
Or my personal favorite, it'll be like a blonde girl named Sharam Akabu, right? And it'll be like, hey, we have links. I'm like, no.
It's not even that. Sometimes what these guys do is they have a blonde girl that's named like a guy's name, like a US or an English guy's name, like Kevin Jones or something. And you're like, Jesus fuck, I've never heard of a girl called Kevin. Like, I know you double names, but a Kevin? Come on.
They got me a couple times with that, though. I'm like, oh, wait, what do you want? Oh, you want to sell me links? No.
Well, someone did say to me, someone that does outreach, the female personas get a hell of a lot more replies than the mail. Well, when I'm saying someone told me, the person that does pitch box in my office said that, like, they send out, all these different personas, and there's one persona in particular that literally gets 90% of the links, and she is quite attractive. I think she is blonde.
Next.
David Holgate, long time no see. Good to see you here, my man. He's back to using that picture, David. Come on. So, David, see that picture of David you can see on your screen? I said to him, like, he said something, and I'm like, dude, how old's that picture? And it's like 20 years old. He did change it for a while, and now he's back to the 20-year-old picture. Gotta love it. But you're looking well in that picture anyway, David. Good to see you. Has Chris played with mass page cloaking redirects to the GMB? And if so, has it moved the needle?
The cloaking part, no. I mean, I'm primarily just utilizing social traffic at this point. Very effective.
I don't understand why you would do a cloaking redirect to the GMB. Is there any real need to do that? Like, I don't see the benefit in doing that at all. Like, I'd be curious to know. It might work, and I know other people like cloaking and all that stuff. But to me, why not just send a link or traffic to the GMB rather than cloaking that? I think that's more risky and does the same thing. But let us know more on what you think.
We're hiring landers to the must message us on GMB trick is pretty effective,
Anyway.
Yeah.
Ryan Houghton, I think that is my trouble, to be honest. I love content writing, but I see other competitors and things that just highlights what's not working, I suppose. Get the chin up, Ryan. We need to get back, being motivated, mate. Don't let it get you down. David Holgate says, quite a few people have been saying that the 3-pack is showing as a 2-pack lately. I've noticed quite a few 2-packs too. I wonder if more changes are coming. What's your thoughts on this?
I've been seeing this quite a lot, like definitely in the lawyer niches and whatnot. You're seeing or plumbers, moving, any of this stuff. I'm noticing, they're giving me that bar, the guarantee bar, and then they're just showing 2. It's just getting more competitive, basically, so these happen. You have to adjust. I mean, it happens. Or move niches.
I think I had Brad and Mike on yesterday, and I think someone asked something. They were like, "Yeah, I think there's an update going on. There's something going on." So
for the past month,
there's something funky going on. But I would imagine more changes are coming. To be honest, GMB, people have been messing around with it a lot, and I think Google are obviously quite right to well, maybe not quite right to make changes, but you know what it's like. If people are doing things, they're going to make the goalpost move and make it a little bit harder. So I think we will be seeing a lot more changes because it's a free-for-all out there, really, at the moment. That's the politest way you can say it, really. Chris, do you have experience with Adsense rejecting a site for spun, thin content? Any tools to help find the problem source?
Man,
their site has 100K words, so it's hard to tell from AdSense's useless info.
That's insane. I mean, I've utilized AdSense on some really horrific domains, and I've never ran into any trouble like that. So it's always been pretty easy. I mean, I never ran into any trouble like that, and I've used garbage without any trouble. So I don't know any tools for that. I never ran into any trouble.
Sadly, I don't have an answer for you, Chris. I don't like AdSense. It's not my preferred monetization model. To always try to steer clear of it. So I've not got experience in that. But anyone in the chat got an answer to help Chris here? If so, let us know in the chat there, and we can get Chris the solution to his answer. But yeah, Chris, just keep digging. I'm not the best person to ask on that, but hopefully you do get it figured out. Guys, also make sure you do give us a like and subscribe on the channel. But we'll just crack on. Alex Braddock, what are the recommended amount of backlinks that should be added per week on a new website?
That's a tricky question. You know, that's based on domain age and what your competitors have, right? What you can afford. But more importantly, it's add one quality link, wait 2 weeks, add another link. But I don't think there's any set numbers, what I'm getting at. So yeah, 100% at least one high quality link going to that page, and then we're looking to see a result. So
yeah, I mean, there is no set number. You know, bear in mind, you know, people will talk about, you know, don't overdo it at the start and all that. Even if you were to buy 10, it's not necessarily going to harm you. What you don't want to do is build 1,000 and you know, who the hell's got the money to buy 1,000 real links? You know, we're not talking about GSA spam or anything like that, like getting good guest posts or whatever it might be, you know, build a few. I personally would disagree. Well, not Chris never really wanted to commit to a number, but building one and waiting for 2 weeks wouldn't be my strategy. I would build a whole bunch, like I'm not sure, like 5 or 10, and then see what happens. You know, I think one link to move the needle with a brand new website is
tough.
Yeah, it's tough. So, you know, I would be trying to hit it with a little bit more at the start, seeing where things lie, and then go in and try and link to your individual pages and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think that's the best way you can do it. Try and hit it hard at the start because it's a new website, and, you know, it probably has little to no power. But, you know, if it's an age domain or an expired domain name, it might be different. You know, the answer might be different. But if it's a brand new website, try and give it a bit more than one at the beginning. Alex asks, is it possible to outrank Etsy?
Depends on your budget. I think you could if you had if your budget is spot on. But in most cases, if there's particular terms that are seeing volume and I see Etsy or big authority websites, I'm just going to move to my next best keyword. You know, me personally, that's what I would do. Like, why compete with these for what? You know, I just move on.
But anything possible, as Chris said, if you've got the right budget and the right strategy behind it. No problem at all, Richard. Always happy to try and help answer the question as best we can. Ricken Shah, thank you for that donation, by the way. Huge fans of both of you. Thanks for all you're doing to help new businesses. What's a good goal for a new website's DA after 1 year? And what would you do to increase DA the quickest? So I'm going to start off by saying, do not focus on this. This is the wrong way to think, first and foremost. DA, of course, gives you a guide as to whether a domain is authoritative, but I wouldn't be having any set goals that I need to get to a DR 30 or whatever it might be after year one. Build quality links and the DA will come naturally. But you could literally, if the DA is your goal, I could make your DA a DA 50 in 3 weeks if I wanted to. It's easy to manipulate. That doesn't mean your website's going to rank. I can manipulate enough to get the DA score up. It's not going to make a blind bit of difference to your actual rankings. So focus on other things as a metric rather than that. That would be my advice. But Chris, what are you saying to that?
There's not much to add to that. I wouldn't chase metrics. But if we had to give it a number, I'd be looking to see like a 30 at the end of a year. You know, if I had to give you a number that you were shooting for a 30 at the end of a year.
Yeah.
You know?
That's probably
I had to give you a number.
Yeah. I think that's a fair comment. But again, it comes down to, your budget and stuff as well. You know, if you were spending considerable money and all that stuff, could be 40, could be 50. Who knows? But yeah, you need to look at what DA the other guys have got, and you're trying to aim to replicate what they've got in terms of backlinks, and the DA will come naturally. Don't chase.
Yeah, I wouldn't chase content and just building links. But you could get like Craig said, you could spike that pretty easy. you know.
Yeah. If you're working in a place and your boss says, you know, make this a DA 30 by the end of the year and I'll give you a $5,000 bonus, come to me, man. Give me £2,500 and I'll make that DR 30 in 3 weeks. So yeah, if you're on a deal like that, mate, we can come to an arrangement. But the rankings ain't going to come, mate. So, but there you go. Ryan has a question for once. As you both know, I'm pushing content writing. Should I pitch and build myself personally or under a sort of agency name? What would be your advice to Ryan there?
I personally would go for brand to appear bigger than you are. Plus, we want the business to be able to work without us sucking our time. So if I were to do that, I'd be trying to go for a brand play, you know, and to not only appear larger and more authoritative, but also I want to be able to run my business without me being the face. So that's what I would do.
I am going to disagree with Chris on this. Now, I get Chris's point 100%, and it's a very, very valid point. However, there's a lot of agencies out there that are just giving out garbage. And I think, for me personally, I think a personal brand is a good thing to do. As Chris said, there's certain things that become problematic. You know, people want you to be writing the content. You're the face. You're the one that's getting your time drained and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of who I would rather use personally, I would rather use someone who's a personal brand, who seems to be an authority in content writing. I don't care if you've got VAs or your processes or your, you know, your stuff being implemented in the background. I really couldn't give a shit. But I want to know that I'm coming to Ryan Houghton, the content writer, rather than, you know, some, you know, agency name or whatever. I just think personally, agencies, I think people are becoming wiser that agencies have massive overheads and under-deliver, and there's a guy there making a load of money, and the rest of it's all just shitty, low-quality staff. That's just my perception of what an agency means. You know, and I think the personal branding side of it does have massive negative sides as well. But I think more and more people are buying into people. So for someone maybe to use Chris Palmer, are they using Chris Palmer because, you know, he's an agency name? No, they're buying into Chris Palmer because they like the way he conducts himself, the way he talks, the knowledge and everything else. So for me, I think a personal branding and becoming an authority in content writing is your best bet. That's just my honest opinion. But Chris does have a great point. Do you want to be getting dragged around all over the place? Being a personal brand myself, I know what that's like, and it has massive negative impacts. But if I was starting out and advising again, I think it's all about delegation, getting the right automation in place, you know, having your calendar, trying to, you know, have other people around about you that you can take yourself out of the business. But I still think in terms of sales and stuff, people buy into me or Chris rather than an agency. They would rather use us because we're on here dropping bombs, being authoritative, you know, and that is what people are looking for. They don't want to go to, you know, the agency along the roads because they don't know what they're doing really. So
yeah, I think you can stand next to it, but you need to be segmented against it, because content writing specifically, it's a race to the bottom. Who has the best content for the best price? So yeah, for me, you can stand next to the brand, like a Russell Brunson. It's really ClickFunnels, but he's the, you see? So you could be the authoritative source for your type of content writing, but there has to be a brand there. Or because you have to, you know, that's just my opinion. What do I know?
No, listen, they're very, very valid points. And as you say, you know, there's negatives and positives to every angle you look at. So, but Russell Brunson is probably a good example. But
great example.
I said the key thing there. People just look at price as well. You know, if you're doing it at 5 cents a word and someone else is doing it for 4 cents a word, regardless of who you are, people sometimes will just go for the 4 cents. So unless you become, you know, very well known and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a difficult one to be honest, mate. You could flip a coin in all honesty, but I just think personally people buy into people more rather than buying into an agency. But
yeah, for people that own their traffic, it's easy to have a high cost, but people that are going into the marketplace have to be competitive with price.
Yeah.
So for him, it's you have to have a superior product, and I need to have the best price.
Yeah.
Or I can't win. That's what I've always found. I have to have superior product quality, and I have to have the best price. And you're going to get the deals up front because I have the better price. I'm able to get people in the door because of the price, and then they see the quality, and then it's, then now I have a brand because I'm able to get referral traffic, right? That's pretty much it. I mean, good luck, Ryan.
You could argue the toss all day long. I think we've both made what we feel put as best we can, but as I say, you've got to make that decision for yourself. So good luck with it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. James Moore, I think having 2 in the maps will prompt Google to go to the map SERP to see more options. Google will be able to show more map ads at the top of that SERP also.
Their analytics say different. People are looking for the answer right now, especially on mobile. They're clicking. They're hoping to dominate where you're forced to buy that space, is my opinion. They just want to dominate that first click because they know when people come, they're looking for their answer and they're just going to click. So they want to push out the people that are getting freebies and they want you to pay. That's what I think. I don't think they're going to, I think they're going to push everybody out. It's going to be pay to play. They're going to maybe leave one and it'll be like this big because they have to, to make it fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? I don't know.
It all depends, as Stud Muffin says.
That's right.
So Chris Glidden is saying, thanks for the help. Long-time lurker, subscriber here. Non-SEO related question. What is your favourite barley wine or hardcore beer?
I try not to drink. I get out of hand. I just try not to drink. But if I'm going to drink, I buy Kettle One vodka.
I like vodka. I like Ciroc, which is a decent vodka, or water. I'm pretty much like Chris. I get out of control and all that when I'm drunk and go all crazy and shit. So I just can't be doing my hangovers and stuff. So I just don't know when to stop. I'm not a bad guy when I'm drunk, but I just shots and all that stuff, and it ends up.
And that just keeps. Yeah.
It's just not good, man. And I feel like absolute dog shit. So yeah.
Then you're like, let's go to the casino. Next thing you know,
it's never good, man. Drinking is never actually. I mean, I've had some great nights out, but has drinking ever actually done anything else for me other than give me pain? No, it hasn't. So right. I'm staying off it as much as I can. But Rick and Shah is saying thanks. Ashton Lobo is saying I'm trying to rank for a keyword and I built more links than my competitor, still ranking number 5. Should I go more links on the tiers? I've optimized the content with POP for on-page. So what do you do at this point, Chris?
So our links, our off-page is in place. Our on-page is in place. I'd be looking before I started, is age a factor? How long have they been there? Are the guys you're trying to beat, have they been sitting there forever? Do they have 13-year-old domains and they've been sitting in those positions since the dawn of time? These are things that I would have looked at before starting. But it could just be a time piece. If you're telling me that you're optimized, then it's just time. But what I said before, though, is usually what I'm looking at. Is it age and how long have they been sitting there? Because when somebody gets there, sometimes it's you might not knock them off, not for a couple months. So,
but remember, they're up there purely based on probably the click-through rate and engagement that they're getting by being in position 1 for that particular search term. You may need to start playing around with that as well to make sure that you're getting a lot more clicks. Which you can do ads and stuff like that. So have a look at that.
I hate those predicaments, though.
Yeah. But what you call as good on-page SEO might be absolute garbage as well. So triple check that as well. But live RIL fan, do you guys think SMM panels for YouTube are a bad idea. I haven't used it in a few years. I just wonder if you can combine it with CTR manipulation and a few other tricks. So do you use SMM panels or anything like that?
I have. I used to resell all that stuff. I mean, I don't think that there's any value other than the metrics that they produce. You know, I don't think that you're going to get an actual boost from utilizing these types of services. You know, we can spike subscribers and followers and views and waiters and all this stuff, but I think the systems are hip to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I tried actually with a video. It wasn't that particular company, but I tried with a guy with live viewers and stuff, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I can get you this, that, and the next thing." Now, in my opinion, YouTube and the algorithm can detect a lot of that garbage now, and it did. You know, the guy was like, "Yeah, I can get you, X amount of live viewers on there," and I tried it, and I sat on a live doing it, and there's a video on my YouTube about it. And it didn't, YouTube just kept cutting it down. It goes out of the analytics. It's not fooling YouTube's algorithm anymore. I think that worked well a few years ago. But when it comes to CTR, one thing I would say that you cannot beat is using your push notifications, using your email list, using paid Facebook ads, all of that stuff to force the traffic over to the video. It sadly costs a bit more money, but I'd rather invest my money in a cheap Facebook ad, even to the Indian audience, and I'm not doing that to be ignorant to the Indians. It's just a lot cheaper to get traffic from that country. Now, I'd rather spend 10 quid on that than 10 quid on views that are not going to count on my YouTube channel. So I think, just pay. I do a lot of YouTube ads and Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff to try and force engagement on here. Obviously, I've got a fairly big social media following. I've got a massive mailing list and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to funnel all of that back into the videos just to get the wheel moving. But yeah, that's how it goes. But I've not had great success with any of that stuff, sadly. Holly Starks has just jumped in at the end. She'll have to watch the replay. She had to work in the house this afternoon. Boo. Holly, can't believe it. Nah, Michael Penland, no problem at all. Good to see you, man. Free to play FIFA from Friday onwards. I'm already for a week from then. No problem. One last little question, and then we are done. I have a question. It's a long-winded question, but how to build site structure for good SEO? What's a quick answer to that, Chris?
Well, I think the quickest thing to do without giving you an explanation is get pop, right? And it'll lay out the structure for you, right? Like, all right, 1H1, I need 7 H2s. Here's the keywords I need to put, the variations. It's going to just do based upon the competitors. So site structure is quite simple. How many elements are on the page, hot zones, H tags, and then how many paragraphs, blah, blah, blah. Use pop. It'll answer all these questions for you like this.
Yes, I totally agree with what Chris said there. So, Chris, before we actually just shoot off, when can we expect to see this present that you're going to be delivering to the SEO world? Are we going to be able to talk about this next week or look at it, just so we can give people a bit of an idea of?
Absolutely. I mean, as soon as we're done here, I gotta take this. I have to talk to this client, but then I'm gonna hop on with him and we're gonna see what we got so far. Yeah, I'm excited. Definitely have a demo for next week.
I'm eager to see it. So, so guys, hopefully next week on the show we can look at what this is going to be. Bloody hell. Holly's just ordered 30 more servers to build sites. Jesus Christ. I think Holly said something along the lines yesterday that she's got 150 servers for all her stuff, which is madness. So I've got one last question here, Chris, from Live RL fan, and the reason I'm throwing this in here is because this particular chap has been given a lot of good knowledge bombs yesterday on YouTube. I like your approach, Live RIL fan. He's saying to save data when doing CTR manipulation, is it a bad idea to watch YouTube video in 144p? Do you think YouTube can punish you for that?
I mean, I don't play with YouTube. That's not where I've ever messed around in, other than maybe just playing around with it, but I don't have that answer. I don't really mess around with YouTube that much as far as for CTR. It's not no use to me. I don't do it.
I was just curious to know if you had any input on that. But guys, we will be back next week, same time. Well, I think our clocks go back in the UK, so it will be back to 12 noon EST and all that stuff. But yeah, we will be back, and hopefully we will be able to have a look at what Chris has got up his sleeve, which I am personally super excited to see. I'm not sure what you guys know, if we've dropped any little nuggets, but I'm pretty sure you should be here to see it, because it is going to be something that's going to interest a lot of you. So yeah, I'm buzzing to try it out. So be here next week, guys. But also, and Holly's just said there, I don't know why they would penalise you. Traffic is traffic to Live RIL fan. But yeah, do check out Chris Palmer's YouTube channel as well. Chris Palmer SEO. Just search for him on YouTube. You'll see Chris releasing videos daily. So yeah. And Holly will be driving. Just watch the replay, Holly. You will like this, I think. I'm pretty sure Holly will like this, what you're going to show next week.
I hope. Yeah, she's definitely. I hope so.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.